Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? So we have some big news from Bethesda today, and some of it I was honestly not expecting to happen. So I'm quite happy to be wrong on this particular point. So it's very, very cool stuff to have a look at in a new Inside the Vault blog post. So let's take a decent look at it. So, Inside the Vault, Fasnacht seasonal event and patch 7. Woo! Preview. So, welcome back to Inside the Vault. As Wild Appalachia draws nearer, we're travelling to the town of Helvetia to preview the first seasonal event in Fallout 76, which will be sure to shoo away those winter blues, the Fasnacht Parade. Next, we're going to share a few highlights with you from patch 7, which we're planning to release next week. Awesome. Cool stuff coming very, very soon. So, first things first. Seasonal event, Fasnacht Parade. Each year since the founding of Helvetia in 1869, the townsfolk celebrated Fasnacht by donning fantastic masks and parading through the decorated town. Festivities culminated by burning an effigy of Old Man Winter on the bonfire to signal the end of winter. The townsfolk may be long gone, but the dutiful bots have kept the party rolling every year, and they welcome your participation. Awesome. Cool looking outfits and pictures there. So, first of the new seasonal events should give a little bit of changing updates and a bit of fun rolling through the game, bring a bit more life to things, which is very, very cool. Something the game definitely needs. I'm looking forward to this. Fasnacht Parade is a repeatable, limited time event quest that will be available for 1 week, starting on March 19th. Cool, okay. You and any other dwellers who wish to take part must speak with the Master of Ceremonies in Helvetia, and then divide and conquer to find and aid the town's robotic shopkeepers in setting up for the annual parade. I don't know if this means you'll be getting unique individual tasks to complete, or if you'll get one across the whole group, but interesting to see. I'm guessing several quest markers to round out in order to progress the quest, but yeah, be interested to see how that pans out. You and your compatriots will be asked to assist with a variety of party prep duties that may have you stepping on stage to play a cheery tune, using the perfect decorations, interesting to see how that goes, or exterminating some buzzing pests. If you find and aid the Protectrons quickly enough, they will be able to march in the parade. Interesting, so it sounds like the way this progresses will depend on how quickly you are able to complete it. Be sure to remain vigilant. Times have changed since the pre-war days, and all that commotion is sure to attract some party crashers, I've no doubt. Defend your marchers as they traipse around town, and then set Old Man Winter ablaze to banish the biting cold, earn some loot, and even claim a festive Fasnacht mask of your very own. The more marchers who survive the parade, the higher the chance you'll earn a mask, some of which may be exceedingly rare. Mixed feelings on this. Here's a look at just a few that you can get by completing the event. There are many, many more. And masks can be traded, so put your charisma to the test by haggling with any dwellers who have a mask that catches your eye. We've got a few possibilities down here in the picture, some are quite cool. Old Man Winter, Sunlight one, just as disturbing on many levels. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but that's quite cool. And apparently quite a few more besides. I have mixed feelings about the rarity thing. That grind for loot that inevitably comes from some things being more rare is not something I'm massively a big fan of, really. But it'll make it feel a bit more unique when you get something interesting, I suppose, which is cool. And then, yeah, the ability to trade it should be interesting. But it'll boost the use of the trading mechanics, I imagine. Not something I do much of, but nice to know there's a selection out there and you can work with other people irrespective of whether or not you're in a group with them to get the things you want that way. You never know, there might be a few direct trades going on, I think, if people have got one mask they don't want but somebody else does and vice versa. So remember, no party lasts forever, and neither does this seasonal event quest. Complete Fasnacht Parade as many times as you like, grab as many masks as you can, and score new Fasnacht-themed camp plans. Definitely want to see those. Before the celebration ends on March 26th. So when was the start? 19th. So it sounds like it's a week-long event. So yeah, I've got a week to go through it as many times as you can. Obviously, I'll be doing that on stream at least a couple of times, hopefully. And probably a few times off stream to see what we can pick up. Patch 7 highlights. This is where it gets really cool. We're gearing up to release Patch 7 next week, and it contains the first wave of Wild Appalachia game content, including the new brewing and distilling crafting system and quests we talked about last week, Video should be popping up somewhere about now. And design changes and a ton of bug fixes. Always good. All patch notes will be available on patch day. No surprises there. But here are a few highlights we're excited to share with you. So it sounds like the event will come along with this patch as well. I'm guessing that'll mean 19th for the patch as well as the event and all these changes. So, energy and heavy weapon balance. In patch 7, we're making some adjustments to greatly increase the durability of many energy and heavy weapons, and increasing their damage so that you can take down enemies more easily, and spend less time repairing and more looting. Here are the details. Energy weapons. For heavy and semi-auto energy weapons, we've greatly reduced the amount of condition damage they take per shot. Your heavy energy weapons should now last 4 to 5 times longer, and semi-auto energy weapons should last twice as long before needing repairs. That's cool. Less time spent running back and repairing things is good, and less time having your weapons break while you're in a sticky situation is always welcome. Still, that does take some of the pressure off, I suppose, so mixed feelings slightly, but getting caught mid-quest and your main gun breaking is not a situation that's fun to be in, so... well, use the term fun loosely. We've also given semi-auto energy weapons an additional damage boost of plus 10%, so they have a little more bite. Cool, that'll be my pistol, for example, so happy about that. It's a step up anyway from the 10mm I was using, but giving it a little more punch will make it that bit more useful, which is cool. Heavy weapons. We've reduced the fire rate for high rate of fire automatic heavy weapons across the board and increased their damage by 10%. Adjusting these weapons' fire rates gives us more room for a damage increase, which will help them punch through armor more effectively without increasing their baseline damage per second too high. So they should be more effective against tougher enemies, but they'll be a little bit slower firing, which is... it sounds like a solid plan. I'll have to see if it actually works out the way they're intending, but it makes sense. Obviously, if they just boost the damage too much, then they'll just become really OP, so that would be bad. Weapon damage for all other automatic heavy weapons has been increased by 10 to 20%. Okay, I'm guessing they're slower firing anyway. Hopefully we won't end up with miniguns or Gatling guns or something becoming too horribly OP, but we'll have to see. If it doesn't work out, I'm sure they'll tweak it in future. Like energy weapons above, we've significantly reduced the condition damage that automatic ballistic heavy weapons take per shot, and they should now last about 4 times longer before they need to visit a weapons workbench. Cool. As before, definitely a good thing. We know many of you have also been asking for weight changes for heavy weapons. While we haven't addressed this in patch 7, we do plan to make improvements with a future update, and we'll let you know as soon as we have more details to share. So yeah, they are big and heavy. Unless you've gone high on strength, you're going to be lugging around weapons that are eating up a massive proportion of your carry weight, so dropping that would be welcome for a lot of people, I'm sure. So this is a thing that I am very, very excited about and honestly didn't expect to see coming. But here it is nonetheless. Camp and workshop budget adjustments. In patch 7, we're planning to make adjustments to the camp and workshop budget system that should allow you to build even bigger and fancier wasteland abodes. Yes, that's very, very cool. I'm guessing, because I very much didn't expect this to happen, that Bethesda must be finding more server stability, if I get the words out, than they initially expected, which is cool. Perhaps their adjustments and back-end changes have been more effective. I have to admit, I've noticed a lot less crashes lately, which is cool. So they are going to reflect that by giving us more room to build, which is cool. So that's going to pan out in the form of the amount of budget space that some buildable objects consume, such as turrets and lights, has been reduced, or will be reduced with patch 7 next week anyway. But they now also have a maximum amount that can be placed at your camp or workshop. Build menu recipes for these objects will show how many are already present in your camp, including the ones you have stored, and the total amount of each that you can place. Okay, so that's going to in some ways limit the size increase, because if you're placing these things down and they cost less, fine, but if you're limited in the number you place, the results are the same anyway. That being said, the same reasons that they were limited in terms of their the amount of budget they took up in the past kind of still apply. So, you know, a camp that's just turrets and luring people into it to either grief people or to just make battles easier, not really what they want to achieve, so they've got to make sure that doesn't happen. whilst at the same time allowing us to build more. So, and of course it still puts a strain on servers and things like that, no matter how much success they've had on the back end. So they've got to be judicious in their increase, I think. So increase is welcome, being sensible about it even more welcome from my point of view. So there are several important aspects of camp and workshop budgets that we must keep in mind when making adjustments, including how objects are used by players, overall structure balance, and even game performance. There we go, just what I was saying. While the above changes aren't a direct increase to budget size, they should give you more overall budget space to build lots of cool stuff, while allowing us the flexibility to further refine and improve balance and performance. Okay, sounds like the right approach. Hopefully that means we'll be building more without too much more strain on the servers. Great. Camp placement adjustments. Important, not particularly fun, but important. Occasionally, when we bring new content to the game, it may need to be placed somewhere that previously was usable as a camp location. We can't have camps and quests occupying the same space. While we do our best to limit these cases, sometimes it's unavoidable. Starting with patch 7 and in future updates, we plan to add a few no-build zones to the game that will prevent players from constructing camps in those areas. Essentially, you already can't build camps near pre-existing marked locations anyway, so it'll be the same principle as that, but focusing on certain quests and things like that, particularly with these new updates coming. Not perfect, not going to make people massively happy, but it allows new content to come in without unfortunate conflicts with people's camps, so it's the right way to do it. However, it is possible some players have already built in these locations before they became no-build zones. When that happens, affected players will be notified upon joining the world that their camp can no longer be placed, and they'll be given a free camp placement as a result. We don't expect this to impact many players, but we hope the free move will help you find a new home for your home. In short, it'll be like if you log into a server and somebody else is camping in the same location as you, it'll just get packed up, you'll get a notification, and you'll be able to move it. The only difference is you won't be able to server hop and just place it back where it originally was. You'll have to actually go to a new location. It is what it is, but it facilitates them adding new content, and I think most of us are probably in favour of that, so a small trade-off is not that surprising, really. Challenge tracking. With patch 7, we want to make challenges easier to keep an eye on as you make progress towards completing them, so that you always know what the next reward will be, or when the next reward will be on its way into your pocket. Cool. Going in and out of the menu via the map is a bit of a pain in the neck of a way to go and track your challenges, having to do it manually, so something set up like this sounds cool. We're adding a new challenge tracking interface to the map, which you can use to quickly access the challenges menu whenever you'd like. Isn't that already there? As you scroll through the available challenges, you can now select them and add them to the tracker, which will update as you make progress towards completing each one. Additionally, you will also receive a notification in-game whenever you make progress towards one of the challenges you've added to the tracker. So from the sound of it, rather than diving into the menus once you're in the map, you'll just be able to have some kind of overlay, from the sound of it, I'm guessing, on the actual map screen. So it's just a single button press to check out whatever you've tracked. And a little pop-up on screen anytime you advance one of the tracked challenges, which is cool. I have to admit, partly because it's such a pain to track them, I'm a little bit lazy about keeping up with challenges, but I know a lot of people do like to make sure at least they get their dailies in. That'll certainly make that a lot easier to do, which is cool. We'll see you again next week as we cover even more of the new game content we have in store for Wild Appalachia. Until then, see you in the Wasteland. Some big changes coming, a bit more details on the Wild Appalachia update, presumably coming with patch 7 next week. Camp changes are cool. Very glad to see more building capacity is going to be cool. Definitely looking forward to being able to build more. Build more creatively as a result, hopefully, which will be very, very cool. There's a few other changes in the mechanics that I'd like to see, but if they happen, they'll be way off on down the line anyway, so it is what it is. But yeah, some good news. Obviously, as I say, this is all coming in the patch next week, so it's not something you'll see when you jump in later today. But yeah, some very cool stuff. New Fasnacht masks are always fun things to collect. And the event looks like, based on the pictures, it should be a riotously daft fun time. So those protectrons look interesting, to say the least. Yeah, looking forward to seeing what they've got in store and trying it out. So, let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comments below. Forward to hearing your thoughts. So yeah, I do hope you found that useful and informative. If you did, do hit those buttons for me. It's always very, very much appreciated. Do try and catch up with one of the streams as well. We're having a lot of fun exploring various areas and hopefully looking into some of this new stuff as well before long, which will be very, very cool. If you haven't already, do catch up with me on social media as well. You'll find links down in the descriptions. I've got a few ideas coming up for Instagram as well that I'm looking forward to putting into practice over the next few weeks. For now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll be speaking to you all very, very soon.